What's up, everyone? It is lottery day. Absolute incredible scenes. I'm just gonna tweet this out. I actually made a thumbnail for this live stream. That's how you feel. That I have a real thumbnail for this. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. Cool. Tweeting out the stream. What's good, Mafio? Hope everyone is as excited as I am for this. I am very excited for this. Obviously, we're going to learn where Cooper Flag is going to end up. We'll see if there's any jumps. We also got a bunch of official measurements today, which is cool. Nothing too surprising to me in terms of the measurements that at least that I've seen. Everything pretty much checks out with what I expected. You shouldn't look at where I ranked the Raptors in my Cooper Flag sweepstakes article. I wrote an article for Sportscasting on like my preferred Rap flagged Chip. No, you didn't, bro. I literally planned this yesterday, dog. But yeah, excited for the live. Yeah, Jace measured maybe a little shorter than I thought, but I knew he was short. I would have probably guessed like 6'1" without shoes for Jace. Ended up being a little shorter than that, but ultimately nothing crazy. Trying to see if there's a good like lottery tracker that I can share the screen so we can kind of keep track of it. Or I could just like make a spreadsheet like I always do. Yeah, the reactions to measurements are always great. I mean, for people who like don't follow the draft closely or don't watch a lot of tape, like the measurements I think are pretty cool to see. For people who who have been watching these guys and are familiar with their games, I don't think it's anything like crazy. Shit, shut the fuck up. Yeah, I like Kalkbrenner. I don't know if I'm high on him. I mean, I have him in like the probably like 20-ish range. I think he's a really quality player, and I see him being an impactful NBA player. Not crazy about his ceiling or anything, but he's going to be a good player. So I mean, if you had to make me answer, thanks, Elijah, appreciate it. If I had to answer, I would say yes, I'm high on Kalkbrenner. I'm gonna make a sheet because why not? Just so people can see what the order is in case they're. No, I don't need to do that. But yeah, I'm excited for this one. Any other measurement? I guess I'm a BJ Edgecombe measured a little better than I thought. I was guessing like 6'3" and without shoes, but 6'4" is still good. Definitely not like gigantic or anything. I'm just scrolling through my boy John Chepkevich's timeline. Definitely go check that out for a bunch of the anthro measurements. Chaz Lanier, pretty good. I keep misreading them and thinking everyone has 8-foot wingspans. Like, nope, that's standing reach. Darian Williams, 6'4", 6'6" wingspan. Nothing incredible there. Miles Bird, 6'4", barefoot, 6'10" wingspan. Yeah, that's not surprising. That Bird. Yeah, I mean, Ace was right. I think like people generally knew that Ace wasn't probably 6'10". You could just like see him standing next to like Dylan Harper and probably, but yeah, I mean, I assume some people are going to like see that and be scared off of Ace, but I still think he's good despite the shrinking. Like not like he shrunk relatively to what people expected, obviously. But shout out to everyone who's here already. This is awesome. Really excited for this. And if you're enjoying the content, I very much appreciate it. All the likes, comments, subscribe. I did a throwback scouting on Aaron Gordon recently that I had a ton of fun making. I feel like I need to get back to the roots of this channel at some point. So I'm going to be making more throwback scouting reports as well as just a lot of draft content throughout the rest of the cycle. Plenty of players I still want to get to, make some kind of long form breakdown, whether that's like a comparison or an analysis or whatever it ends up being. But yeah, no, I'm very excited for the content. I'm as followers of me will know, I'm going to be live. I'm going to be live on draft night. Yeah, I'm going to be live on draft night as I usually am. Any potential risers from that combine scrimmage list? I saw someone tweet it. Was it Woo? But I will check that. I do think the combine scrimmages are probably the most like the thing I take the most away from. Yes, sir, that's fucking right. Is probably the thing. Okay, yeah, I see them. It's probably the thing that I value the most from the combine, just because I do think it can be valuable to see how players perform in like a neutral environment. No, what did Zach Lowe say about Coward? I did not see. What did he? Yes, I did not. I did not see. So let me know. But yeah, I'll look at some of my notes on the combine scrimmage thing. Okay, yeah, I see it. It's the team with Miles Bird, Tahad, and Golden, Tuhi, and Owe. That's just gonna be an incredibly fun team. Um, the team I'm curious to see what Sion James can do in probably a more like on-ball role because his team doesn't really have great like on-ball players or at least great on-ball scorers or really great ones. Um, I could see Cam Jones going absolutely insane. Same with Max Shulga. Hit 4 or 5 threes. Honestly, same with Kobe Brea, who measured really well. Kobe Brea is a really good player, um, for sure. But yeah, Brea I like, and then Boogie Flynn. I'm excited to see how he does. Yaxel, Tanji, Darion. That's a good team. And then Dink Pate. I'm really curious about. Um, Braxton Stacker. Is that like an Ezekiel Overshot type figure that like I just conjured in my mind, or that I just like conjure in my head, that the voices told me existed. I do not know who that is. Chip, you're a sicko. But yeah, lottery in 5-ish minutes, I think. My my preferred Cooper Flag destination, as I wrote about, is probably Portland. I think him in Portland would just be phenomenal in terms of like health of the league. It's cool that like a Portland team that was like definitely trying this year would be cool. I do not. Do you know Brad B. Elite with Nick Smith and Brandon Miller? Damn, that's a throwback. That's a hell of a throwback. That team was so much fun. I probably didn't pay attention to anybody but NSJ and Miller on that team, but that team was fun as hell. Flemings and Sorber, yeah, I would say measured how I expected generally. Sorber, I knew would have just a hilarious wingspan and standing reach, but he measured probably a little heavier than I thought, which is good. And then yeah, Rashir, I mean, again, just like I don't know, he's huge and long on tape, so no surprises there that he's huge and long in the measuring room. But yeah, I mean, I think yeah, like it's just nice to get confirmation and to see stuff with the measurements, right? Or if there's anything weird, like me go back and watch some. Um, Tahad Pettyford measuring above 6 feet barefoot is great. Um, I think is the Heat culture guy this year. Oh God. Um, I mean, I don't think Khalil was like that Heat culture-y. Yeah, they pick early 20s, Michael. That's a good question. I don't know who's just gonna be really annoying. because they have Golden State's pick this year because their pick is going to Miami. Who is the Heat culture? I've mocked them Traore a lot. He seems like a player. If he falls, they could just like take a swing on him and trust their development infrastructure. That's one I've given them quite a bit. Penda for similar reasons makes sense to me. Heat erasure. But yeah, Malawash, as expected, is a gigantic human being. Who I'm very excited to see next year. Like he's really damn good. I love this class. I know I feel like some people have been kind of down on this draft class, but it's just been such a blast for me to evaluate throughout. I don't know what I don't know if anyone followed up about what Zach Lowe said about Cedric Coward, who seems somewhat interesting. I still need to watch more. I charted 2 of his games from this year, the Iowa game and the Northern Colorado game. And like Northern Colorado, I think it was his best box score game. Like he was definitely good, but he wasn't incredible. And then I thought he definitely was not as impressive against that Iowa team, but he definitely has crazy tools. I'd say the Jazz rigging is next year. They're gonna rig it for Debanza next year. Don't worry. But yeah, I mean the Jazz could get the number 1 pick. I mean, it wouldn't shock me. I think that would be cool. Just like I mostly want Flag to just go to any of these teams where he's going to get a lot of on-ball usage. He's saying he said he'd go higher than expected base LTS pockets do run deep. But yeah, no, I could see Coward being a guy that teams fall in love with. I mean, just like toolsy wing shooters are what every team loves. But I love I liked Coward. Like I said, I think I've only charted like 3 games of his so far. And he doesn't do that well for me overall, but he's interesting. I mean, I just don't love the offense outside of just like shooting and some post game stuff. But his instincts are great. His off ball defense was great when I watched. I liked his versatility guarding different sized players overall. Yeah, I'm curious about Cedric Coward. I have a bunch of guys I'm catching up on and watching through and charting and tagging to like, get a more deep understanding of them. No GM will be confident to select the guy with his name. Fabulous results. Good luck, buddy. I would be absolutely shitting myself if I was a fan of any of the top lottery teams. My team is in the playoffs, but the guy who's talking to had, yeah, Phylon measured well. I'm happy with Phylon's measurement. I mean, I expected him to be long, and definitely the plus 3.5 wingspan checks out with relatively what I expected. So I like that. Yeah. I mean, Phylon's a pretty big guard. Like, he looked big on tape. He looked pretty tall for a point guard, and I still think he is tall for a point guard overall, and I like him a lot. But, yeah, Coward, like, is a guy who like wouldn't shock me if he like slipped into like the late lottery. I would probably be against that, pending more investigation. But I don't know. Like I watched Penn State center Yannick Conan. I can never remember his full name. Niederhauser maybe. I watched one of his games and he was rough. But like I said, only watched one game. It was the final game of the year against Wisconsin where he just really struggled outside of just like dunking and blocking shots. And then I was watching some Curtis Jones and Keyshawn Gilbert today, and both of those guys are so sick. Like I love Curtis Jones and Keyshawn Gilbert. I'll probably be higher on Jones. Like I can see myself having him like decently high in the second round. Such a crazy shooter who can really score like in the intermediate. Like he spams, D-cells, great floater touch, good decision maker, super long. Like I love Curtis Jones, and then Keyshawn Gilbert kind of like opposite, like has the on ball juice that Curtis just lacks, but it's like so good on defense, like disrupting. I like this processing. Those are some lower level prospects I really like. Ansar, appreciate it, Ansar. I started this channel just because I wanted like an outlet to get a lot of my thoughts out that wasn't like written necessarily, because I wasn't really in a writing mode at the time. But then people just, liked and supported the video. And as I always say, I really am motivated by you guys. All this support over like the last couple years has been sick. And it boggles my mind about how many people actually like the content and my unique kind of low maintenance style. But anyways, yeah, we talked about Jace's measurements a little bit. Not so shocking, but I'd say I would have expected him to be like 6'1", maybe. But he looks pretty small on tape, so I'm not particularly surprised about Jace measuring that small. But his wingspan and standing reach are pretty solid. Yeah, Portland is my favorite landing spot. My top 3 favorite landing spots are Portland, Washington, and Brooklyn. Just, I think all of those spots are like they're not horrible organizations, at the very least, and have a good foundation, whether that's like Portland, who has a lot of complementary pieces in place, or Washington that has young prospects, or Brooklyn that's just like a total blank slate that could completely tool their roster around Cooper Flagg. 6th pick, I would do appreciate it. Yeah, writing about basketball is my job at the moment, which is wonderful. But I would like Derek Queen I would really like Derek Queen in Philly, not in Philly. I mean, in Philly, yes, but in Washington, that's been my favorite alternative. That's been like my favorite like alternative Derek like Washington spot if they don't get a top 2 pick. Whereas Queen, I think, is just such an ideal fit with Alex Sarr overall. I love pairing Queen with like a high level ground coverage guy who I think should be a solid shooter. And Queen is just like strong and he creates and he's a great playmaker. And I think their defensive strengths align well because like Queen is going to be bulkier and he also has great hands and feet if he can just like, Yaxel, 7'4" wingspan, 6'8" barefoot, 9-foot standing reach. Jesus Christ, that is an extremely large man. God damn, he is huge. Thanks, SS. I try, I guess. Do I think the Thunder should trade their treasure chest of picks for Cooper on draft night? I mean, if somebody would like let them do that, if somebody would let the Thunder trade for Cooper Flagg, that would be awesome, and I think they would do it. I don't think that's gonna happen. I wrote about last year for Swish Theory. I basically like analyzed all of Sam Presti's like 30 plus draft selections and like kind of figured out his ideal type. And I think Cooper would be Sam Presti's favorite prospect of all time. Like I think Sam Presti thinks Cooper is the GOAT. Obviously, I'm just speculating, just based on his tendencies and like what he tends to like. I think he thinks that Cooper Flagg is like the greatest player of all time. Probability of Flagg not going 0.01. I mean, maybe if there's like a catastrophic injury or like he has like a Laramie Tunsil style like fall in the draft after some crazy shit gets leaked. But no, Cooper is going number 1. Yeah, Presti still values length. It's not like he doesn't value it, but it's not necessarily like as much. Yeah, Chip, that might do it. Coop measure. Yeah, I feel like people like Coop was like listed 6'9", 6'10", as a lot of these guys are, but again, as I always say, I think the thing that matters most is just like how they look on tape and how they use their tools. But Who do I Wander Franco method? Jesus Christ, man. Um, who's my dream Pacers pick? That's a great question. I haven't really thought about who I want in Indiana just because I'm so like locked into the playoffs. That's a good question. I kind of like that 20s range. Like I'd like for the I'd like for them to get like one of the players that I'm just really high on that's going to fall because like consensus doesn't like as much. Like the Pacers pick 22nd, and according to the consensus board, Neat Clifford is 20th, Thomas Sorber is 21st, LeBaron Philon is 29th, Noah Penda is 28th. Like I would be thrilled with any of those four, just from like a talent perspective. Yeah, Broom I like. I agree with that. Broom, I'm not super high on Broom. Like I'd prefer Kalkbrenner, I think, just because he's a better player. But Broom probably fits more with like Indy's ethos and what they like to do. But I also think Kalkbrenner would give them like a nice change of pace on the interior they don't really have. I like Condon in Indy as well for similar reasons. Like I think Condon gives you a lot of the skill set. I am running to the bathroom really quickly before we start the lottery, so I'll be back in like 60 seconds or less. And we're back. Um, yeah, Ace a lot shorter than people thought. I think this was something that a lot of people were speculating throughout the season. The Ace was more like um but yeah, I think Ace wingspan and standing reach measurement was always the most important thing with him to me, just because of his kind of projection as like a shot blocker and protector, being such a good like being such a good part for his like projection. But yeah, I'm excited, man. Kings getting Cooper would be hilarious. Um, I think the most evil outcome. I think the most evil outcome would be Dallas. Dallas would be truly evil. That there would be no basketball gods to save us if Cooper ends up in Dallas. That would just be the true like chaotic evil answer. Um, Overall. But hey, Adam, how's it going? Um, Chip, I'm gonna say no. But yeah, Dallas would be evil. San Antonio would be filling out aura aces. I have the ESPN broadcast like muted in the background on my TV, but I'm not listening obviously because I am doing this. But yes, Silver made the phone call. If Dallas gets, I think Dallas getting the number one pick would be awful. I mean, it would. I don't know. I mean, like it would objectively be cool from like a basketball perspective because I think that is like the only way that Dallas could actually like be contenders post Luka is if they lucked into Cooper. But like we can't have that happen. That's 100% aces 610. Why he lying, bro? We have the measurements. We the Nikias voice. We saw you. We have film of what you did. But yeah, aces. They're still doing the sixth. Opponent rim some 45 with flag Davis front court. Yeah, that'd be ridiculous. I mean, same thing with the Spurs, like where it'd be an undoubtedly incredible basketball fit. Like just to watch Wemby and Flag play together would be the coolest thing ever, but for the health of the league, it would just be a disaster. So I cannot root for a Spurs or a Mavs or like a Rockets. Again, I just don't think these good slash promising young Western Conference teams need Cooper Flag overall, and I wouldn't really want that, but it would be cool. Am I higher? Is this sponsored now? I'm not sponsored now. I wish I was sponsored, Kiribel. Um, thanks, Tolu. Appreciate it. Steph, how's it going, buddy? I would say I'm probably higher than consensus on Malawash. I mean, the consensus board has Malawash at 8th, and I have him like 5th or something. But yeah, I'd say I'm higher on consensus than Malawash. I just don't really buy the whole like you can't take quote unquote rim running bigs thing high. Just one, I think it's like irresponsible to generally project an 18-year-old's role for the next, 15, 20, 10, 15 years. But also because, players like that I think can return top 5 value while being while being like, elite defenders with some offensive skill. And I think Malawash has like the touch to really be a threat. Whereas like I mean, it's always like the Gobert thing, right? It's like, would you take Gobert with the top 3 pick? I think the answer is clearly yes. Not that I think Malawash is going to beat Gobert. I mean, I don't think he's going to be that level of defender. I would pretty much almost project nobody to be that level of defender. But I think he can be a guy who's like making all defense teams as this weird, like mobile, gigantic 7-footer who like has definite faults, but also I think is going to be an incredible finisher. I am going to be doing mock draft content once the lottery is set for yes, I will. Hopefully I said your name right. But yes, I will be doing mock content. I'm going to have at least 1 or 2 written mocks after the lottery is set, and I'm sure I will have I'm sure I'll have a mock type, of course, Steph. I'm sure I'll have a mock draft type video at some point on YouTube. But yeah, I mean, it's draft season. How can we not do mock drafts, right? That's part of the fun. But yeah, I'll definitely be doing maybe some predictive mock content. Definitely some what I would do mock content. Flag to the Hornets is Flag to the Hornets is interesting. Like, there's so many other factors like I don't like. Just like it's like not an organization I want to send promising young prospects to. Larry Nance tweeted out his list of underrated players. I got to see that. That's cool. Let's see if he has any of my boys on the list. Let me see. It's a good list. Damn. Bro, he has Adem Bona on there. That's crazy. That's so fucking sick. I love that. Neesmith, ball knower. Aaron Wiggins, ball knower. I don't know if I consider Bane underrated. Slide your chair 5 inches over to the left. I'm gonna cut that off actually, just so I don't get copyrighted or anything. Thanks for the notice, Chip, for getting me in trouble. Flag would look beautiful in those Utah Mountain jerseys. I can't disagree with that. He would look wonderful. Any day of where I'd least want to see prospects. I don't love like Ace or VJ or whoever. Thanks, Steph. I don't hate like I don't love Ace in any of the spots, or even like VJ to an extent, where they're going to rely on him for like creation a lot. Like the Nets would probably be an example of that. I don't know, like even like the Bulls maybe, but if they get that high, I don't know. I haven't really thought about a lot of. Ooh, we got Zion representing the Pelicans here. Let's see if we can get another. I'm just gonna tweet this I'm just gonna retweet out this. Quote. Why is Twitter not working? Because this app is horrible. No way they had an accountant deliver the envelopes. I don't think people that basic. I wasn't paying attention to all the team reps. I do like Tumani for the Blazers. That is cool. All right, Mark Jones, let's run this.
Thank you, Kevin, and good luck, everyone.
For 14, let's see. Here we go. All right, 14 is Spurs via Atlanta. Cool. Nothing crazy. 13 is, what do we expect it to be? Atlanta via Sacramento. Yeah, okay, that checks out. No Kings jumping up to the top 5, unfortunately. Damn, Keon Ellis sitting there looking all defeated. 12, I think we expect this to be Dallas or Chicago. Oh, did Chicago fall or do they have higher odds than Dallas? I don't even remember. No Bulls. Dallas is moving up. That's what I thought. Yeah. Oh, damn. The Blazers get 11. No Cooper. Oh my God, dog. Don't tell me Dallas is moving up. This is not all right. Wait, they have a top 4 pick now? No fucking way. What? No. Oh my God. I accidentally spoke this into existence. I'm so sorry. The Raptors at 9. Okay. So Spurs have a top 4 pick. Okay. Cool. I mean, that's not shocking. Wow. Dude. This is crazy. 8th, we have the Nets. Nets down at 8. Oh my God. No. There is no way. Pelicans at 7. So who's gonna get absolutely sniped here? Is the question. Washington maybe, Charlotte maybe, Utah maybe. Washington at 6. Oh my goodness. No. Wow. All 3 of my top preferred Cooper Flag destinations. The Sixers have a top 4 pick. What is going on? So Charlotte or Utah for a top 4 pick. Cooper is so happy, bro. The Jazz. Okay, wow. After all of this, imagine Cooper going to Charlotte after all of this. Yeah, this is one of the most screwed. There's no way. It's not going to be Dallas. I refuse to believe it. There's just no way. All right, so out of these 4, my number 1 preference would definitely be Philly. And then I guess Charlotte. But yeah, at this point I'm rooting for Philly. Holy shit. This is crazy. Oh my God. Mavs. This is wild. This is crazy. I hate this. This sucks. Oh my goodness. I guess Sixers or Sixers or Hornets is my preferred landing spot. But dude, I can't even believe this. This is oh my God. I hate this so much. Ugh. Chip, we can't. $5 says flag going anywhere but Charlotte. Yeah, I feel like um hmm. 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 Flag to the Bucks. I like Charles Lee. Yeah, I think he did a solid job this year. I mean, I think the Hornets were just like so disastrous in terms of like their injury luck too, that it's really hard to fully evaluate what Lee did this year. But I liked some of his defensive stuff. Brought a lot of like Celtics principles over. Um, I don't know. I don't have a yeah. I I don't know how. This is crazy. This is crazy. Yeah, man. If Dallas gets number one pick, man, this is really the script. I'm honestly cool with Philly. I wouldn't be mad about Philly at all. I think that'd be really cool to see Cooper and McCain and yeah, Flats. But yeah, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. All right. Top four. Here we go. I am excited for this. This is awesome. I I can't even imagine being a Wizards fan. Stone Mentors like ugh, Bulls is tough, unfortunately. Um but yeah, at this point, let's go Philly. Sixers getting the number one pick is what I am rooting for. That is my active rooting interest at the moment. Can still I don't actually care if you can still see the reflection, Roberto. I was just messing with Chip mostly. But trade and B if you get flagged if you can. Man, this is crazy. This is crazy. So we got McCain. I feel like Jared McCain is lucky. Mavericks absolutely cannot win this. It's like it would be a too obvious rigging. Like the rigging would be too obvious. Charlotte gets fourth. Oh my god. The Sixers got second? No. This is awful. Oh my. No way. No way. The funniest thing ever. There's no way. There's no way. This is fucking horrible. This is the worst thing ever. The Spurs are getting it. Dylan Harper too, man. Oh man, this really sucks. Honestly, this is horrible. Yeah, this sucks. Dylan Harper throw a lob. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, this is horrible. Hard to imagine a worse lottery outcome, unfortunately. Hate to be a damper, but yeah. Yeah, this is tough, unfortunately. This is really tough. Can't lie. Oh my god. The Spurs get Harper. All right, so let's look through it. Can we actually do Tankathon now? Or do Oh my goodness. So I'm going to share my screen really quick. So right now we have, if Dallas drafts Dylan instead of Cooper, then that would make me feel better about the outcome, but also worse because that means the Spurs get Cooper. AD and Flag is going to be awesome. AD and Flag is going to be so cool. Thank you, Tolu. I really appreciate it. Poverty franchises did not eat this year, unfortunately. With the Bucks trade Harper for Wemby. Okay, so Dallas. Or I'm just gonna run a little mock draft, just like quick little mock draft. Yeah, let's do an instant mock, instant reaction mock draft. So Dallas at 1. I mean, this is, to be clear, this is what I would do. Dallas at 1, Cooper Flag. That's insane. I cannot believe. I really can't believe this. This is unbelievable. But yeah. Number 2, San Antonio Spurs. I mean, the first 2 picks are easy. Harper and Fox and Wemby is going to be absolutely crazy. Yeah, Harper and San Antonio is a little strange fit wise, but I think Harper's so good that I would never pass on him. And like, yeah, I just wouldn't pass on him at 2. 3 Philly gets really interesting. This is a tough one. I think Castle at the 3, sure, maybe, yeah. I mean, I just don't think I think there would be some fit concerns, but Harper's Harper's going to be so much better than Castle. So much better. I don't even think that's close. Philly at 3. I would take Derek Queen because I don't like any of the wings this high. And I think Queen is just like a star in the making, and Philly needs that. 4th pick, Charlotte Hornets. This is an interesting one. Yeah, worse you get a good 6-man, exactly. Damn. Who does Charlotte want here? I mean, I think my gut for Charlotte is that they should take Con Knipple. Just because I think they need high feel players so badly, just like smart players who can, do a variety of things. VJ for Charlotte, yeah, not bad. I'm also lower on VJ, so I'm not going to have him as high in this mock draft. But Charlotte or 5, at 5 we have Utah, the Utah Jazz here. Who would I take for the Jazz, man? Derek Queen is an exceptional prospect, in my opinion. Like, incredible advantage creator, special athlete, playmaker, lots of defensive potential. I don't believe in VJ's like upside as much. I like his floor, but I'm drafting for upside here in the top 5. And Jazz in kind of a tough spot for me. I'd probably just go with Kamon Maluwash here. You have Walker Kessler, but the Jazz have never seen particularly attached to him, so that's probably where I'd go. Washington at 6. This is really unfortunate for them. Man, getting six is just brutal. I'd probably go with Fears because I still think they need like a legit lead initiator, and I think Bub Carrington playing off of him as a secondary would be great. Same with Bilal. 7th overall pick, the New Orleans Pelicans. He's not going to fall this far, but this is where I'll have Ace Bailey. I think Ace in like an off-ball role playing next to Zion, or if they trade Zion, Trey Murphy. The Spurs should take Dylan. I would be shocked. I mean, they take Dylan or they trade the pick. Would be the only good ones. But anyways, I do actually have to end the stream a little bit short to go do a radio hit. So go check that out if you want to listen to more of me. But thanks everyone for being on the draft stream. This was awesome. I don't even know what to say, but thanks everyone. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. We'll have lots of content up soon, but appreciate everyone's support and have a nice day.